Good morning, everybody. How lovely to see you all here today, and we've got a great day for it. But I think I say that every year, and at the end of the day I say, it's been a great day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Glenda Sobey, and I lead the EDS service in Sheffield. It's a really great program this year, and I think every year the program gets a little bit better. And one of the reasons that happens is that Team AC and the teams from the highly specialised services, I like to think, are very good at listening to our community and what they tell us that they want. More importantly, our community is very good at knowing what they want and having really good ideas to pass on to us. Everybody wants research, and I think you'll see today that that is going on in abundance. Everybody wants to know how much they can safely exercise and what types of exercise are good in beds. They want to know about lifestyle, and you will see that that's also very well attended to in the program. So thank you all for your good ideas. As Jared says, it makes the organisation what it is, and it makes the meeting what it is. So first up on the programme, I'm going to call my colleague Dr. Fleur van Dijk to the stage to join me. Fleur is consultant clinical geneticist and lead of the EDS service in London.
Yes, so talking today about also the unique collaboration between, of course, NHS Challenge and our highly specialised service, which is already, well, this is already very clear from the start of this meeting. This is just a short slide of the London team members, which are all very involved, and of course you are all wearing the red for Wednesday, so we will be wearing red. And I had to think, Glenda, about when we had a meeting in Ghent, where we had to talk about rare types of EDS, and specifically we talked about our service, and the highly specialised EDS service is quite special also in the world. There are not many services that actually cover such a large population. And at that meeting, which I was in 2023, I think you were joining virtually, Glenda, so I was there in person. There was a big screen with Glenda on there. And there was something as well about what is the setup of our service, what are we doing. And I had to think about the fact that I, without any lots of thought, I put in as a very key element of the service patient charities. And that's of course for the Vascular EDS people, it's Annabelle's challenge. And they are very important for our service. And in what way are they important? For example, our EDS service gets funding to run its funding, and it's also audited every year by the NHS commissioners who actually provide funding to the service and want to know what actually are we doing for the funding that this service gets. And so in those meetings, often Jared is also there as a representative of the charity and how we work together. For example, on this slide you'll see what, for example, is being discussed, and you can see, for example, how many patients, people with vascular EDS were diagnosed in 2019, how many in 2022, and how, for example, also people that work in EDS service are also contributing to several parts of Annabelle's challenge, like for example, steering committee, and there are lots of regular meetings. There's working together on emergency care projects. A big topic that's being worked on from both the charity perspective and from the services, the patient advocacy. So there's lots going on. And also what happens is that, for example, if someone gets a diagnosis of vascular EDS, sometimes the Annabelle's challenge is already aware of this, is being in contact, and can, for example, signpost people to the service, and we see them then. Or it's the other way around, we see someone who has a diagnosis of vascular EDS, we say, actually there's a very good charity, consider contacting and hearing from them more. So there is this really, I would say, active collaboration. And what I also think, apart from really running the service, it's about thinking broader, which I think Annabelle's challenge has been really good at. And if you think about things that people want, as Glenda, you mentioned already, everybody wants research, yes. But in order to do research, you need to have some time to spend, and time costs money. So very generously, Annabelle's challenge of EDS UK at the time, in beginning of 2019, funded some of our consulting time to actually work on preparing for research by trying to think about how to set up a really solid research database which captures the clinical and genetic data, which are important to answer certain research questions. So that was very important. I think here, I'll talk more about it later, but it's also a study that we set up with help of Annabelle's challenge. And I also find these papers are also very interesting. These are papers that are published in a medical database available, and you can see that actually there is people from, for example, Annabelle's challenge, EDS UK, involved as co-authors of the paper. And if we look at also, for example, the second paper, the unique collaborative model, which talks a lot about patient advocacy, and Juliette will talk more about it, you can immediately see very familiar names there as well. So I think it's just very clear in this way how essential the collaboration is. So we definitely want to keep it going and make it even better, I would say. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Fleur. Being much older than everybody else in the EDS service, I tend to look at things with a bit more nostalgia. And whenever I come here, I think about that day when I first met Annabelle and her parents in the EDS clinic in Sheffield. And at the time, Annabelle was the youngest index case that had been diagnosed in the service with vascular EDS. And where that's brought us today. Now, very good idea to take a photograph of everybody in the service, Fleur. I never got that far, I'm afraid, but what I can say is the Sheffield team are all over here at the table on my right. And you'll meet them all individually today in talks and in workshops going through the day.